Hey, welcome in. Listen, today we're going to talk about the three core forces that secretly drive oil and gas prices. So I'm going to share my screen. So I'm going to look over here. So if it looks weird, that's why. Listen, here are the three core forces that secretly drive oil and gas. Most oil and gas traders fail, and most oil and gas companies fail, not because they're wrong, but because they're blind. They have a limited perspective and they face information overload and they're missing the big picture. So, a lot of traders, a lot of energy companies only see a fraction of what's actually moving the markets and missing critical signals that could protect their positions. So, they also have information overload. If you listen one day, we're oversupplied. Another day, we're undersupplied. There's too much conflicting data, and they're missing the big picture. What is the big picture, and what are the driving forces? And some big shops like Bloomberg, Reuters, they miss the big moves that are happening, but big institutional traders have an edge. And I'm going to talk about that edge in the next few minutes. So, what if you could see the entire market through one clear lens and have complete market visibility, see beyond the noise and what's actually driving the price movements, and then have precise entry and exit points and know exactly when to enter, when the market is overvalued, when it is undervalued, and then have risk management to protect your capital and have consistent performance. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you how to trade oil and gas using three powerful forces that drive every move in the oil and gas market. So, one is technical analysis. Many traders start with technical analysis and end with technical analysis, but that's only a piece of it. That is one third of it. The other third is fundamental analysis. This is looking at supply and demand, storage, imports, exports. The last component is the art of what is actually happening in the marketplace, and that's sentiment analysis. So, market psychology that accelerates trends. That is what is driving the market. That is the market behind the market. This is the art when it comes to trading, when it comes to positioning and understanding, are we overvalued or undervalued? So, technical analysis, which a lot of people start with and can be very successful depending on your timeline. Fundamental analysis, which is the supply and demand. And then lastly, the sentiment analysis. So, I was spending 30 plus hours a week. My name is Brian Pieri. I've been in energy markets since 1995, and I have traded every energy commodity there is from a financial sense, from a physical sense. And this comes into options, futures, physical, basis, any iteration of energy trades, and I've done one. So whether it is natural gas, whether it is crude oil, refined products, natural gas liquids, propane, and by refined products, I mean heating oil, ultra low sulfur diesel, MoGas, any of those components, I have traded it. And what I found is when I left big shops like Chevron, like Louis Dreyfus and Sumitomo, I no longer had access to tools that gave me insight into what is happening in the marketplace. What is the market behind the market? I had tools that was telling me, is supply slowing down? Is demand heating up? So I had tools that gave me that insight. And when I was at a multi-billion dollar energy company producer in the United States, we were under equipped. And I knew that I had to know what was happening in the marketplace. So I was spending 30 hours a week trying to track supply, trying to track demand, try to figure out what that sentiment was. I was spending time on the phone, tracing down endless spreadsheets. So what happened? Research overload, failed predictions, burnout because I was spending 30 plus hours a week. I had to do other things, not just research the market. And I was questioning everything that I was doing. The problem is traders are stuck reacting to headlines with lagging indicators and chasing price. Most market recaps are too late, too vague, or just plain wrong. And a lack of integration between technicals, fundamentals, and sentiment, that is the missing piece. The result, missed entries, fake outs, missed opportunity costs. So the three forces that move the oil and gas prices: technical analysis, fundamental analysis, and sentiment. So again, for those that don't know, technical analysis is chart patterns, indicators that reveal price momentum and potential reversals. Basically, you evaluate price momentum, and there are momentum indicators, there are regression indicators, there are leading indicators, there's volume indicators. There's hundreds, literally probably thousands of combinations of technicals that you could get lost in. Fundamentals is the raw economics of supply and demand. Are we oversupplied? Are we undersupplied? Do we have too much demand for the supply, too little demand for the supply? That's the core, which gets back to supply and demand elasticity. Are we inelastic or elastic when it comes to that? That is the raw economics of the business, is supply and demand. But to add fuel to that, what's interesting about fundamentals is 1% 1% variance on supply and demand can impact the price by 10 to 20%. So let me say that again. 1% change on supply and demand from a fundamental perspective can change the price of the commodity 10 to 20%. This is the reason that a lot of traders get caught in the technicals and then they get surprised about the fundamentals. And vice versa, you have fundamental traders that get surprised by the technical moves. So you need both. And lastly is sentiment. What are the traders? What are the big shops? What are the traders actually saying? This is the market behind the market. What are they actually seeing in the marketplace? So what if I stopped guessing and aligned every trade with these core forces, with precision trading, balanced analysis, and noise reduction? This is the three forces framework that combines technicals, fundamentals, and sentiment. So it's the whole reason that we created Rogue Radar. We actually created it for ourselves, and then we packaged it up and put it out to the marketplace as an offering for those that are serious about trading oil and gas, natural gas, refined products such as heating oil, MoGas, NGLs such as propane, ethane, butanes. We put this resource together for ourselves to really solve for the problem of that 30 hours a week that we're spending and almost wasting out in the marketplace. So this gives us complete coverage with daily updates, with clear direction, and you have expert advice because it's not just us inside of our platform. It is professional traders from around the globe. We have traders from 5 different continents that are inside of this system. So Rogue Radar, it unites all three with weekly and daily technical targets, fundamentals covering supply, demand, storage, stocks, imports, exports, all of it, and sentiment. This is the secret beneath the surface. This is the nuance. This is like I said, the art behind the science. You can look at 5 greater than 4, but if you don't know what that really means or what the market is interpreting, is that a lot? Is it a little? Of course, you can put that as being 80% of the overall market, because 4 into 5 is 80%. Or you can understand this is going to have a bigger relevance to some of the investors on the producing side of the business. This means a lack of investment, which means supply is going to contract. Or you could see that rising prices, such as we had in 2022, is going to have demand destruction, which then has an opposing force on the marketplace. So this is what is in the marketplace is for a premium terminal. You're going to pay, what is it, $5,000 a month. For professional analysis, $3,500 a month. And then for sentiment, another $2,500 a month. Rogue Radar is $89 a month. And I'm going to show it to you in just a second. As a matter of fact, I'll show it to you right now. So this is Rogue Radar. We have two layers of service, Rogue Radar and Rogue Edge. Rogue Edge is for institutional professional traders. Rogue Radar is for everybody to get a quick hit to remove 30 hours of research. And at the beginning of every week, you get a video along with 2 PDF reports. You get a Monday morning, Monday radar, a Monday game plan, which gives you points to trade within the week or levels to watch because these levels change throughout the week. And then Rogue Radar gives a convenient red light, green light system where we cover storage, weather, production. I'm covering natural gas, Canadian imports, demand, LNG, Mexico, international and European storage. We do the same on crude oil where we cover commercial stocks, oil and product stocks, production, refinery inputs, exports, imports, all of it. Then we also have what we just released is Natural Gas Radar, which gives you an executive summary, technical analysis, fundamental analysis, and this one is for natural gas, weather analysis, economic analysis, CFTC, commitment of traders, LNG market analysis, news and sentiment analysis, Fibonacci levels, and machine learning price predictions. Let me scroll down so you can see how simple this is. For instance, in the fundamental section, you can look at the current production levels at 105.7 when the 3-year average is at 98. Ooh, that's a lot of production. But then down here on the supply demand balance, you're seeing 16 BCF a day, but the 3-year average was 11.77. That's bearish. And we're seeing that in the natural gas market play out this week. Then we have weather analysis, economic analysis, commitment of traders analysis, LNG market, because TTF, which is Europe, JKM, which is Japan, Korea, Asian prices. These are LNG receiving prices. These influence the price of natural gas. So all of this is at your fingertips. With a simple scroll, you can see what the news sentiment is on neutral. You can actually pull up each one of these articles and evaluate for yourself what you think is out there. On the Fibonacci level, it gives you the near-term support and resistance levels, and then what the next level down or up would be, and a machine learning price projection. So this is very important for you to have at your fingertips. So that is Rogue Radar. This is what we have for $89 a month that replaces a $5,000 a month premium terminal. $3,500 a month professional analysis, $2,500 a month sentiment tools. So all of this is at your fingertips. Imagine waking up on Monday and you have this video along with a game plan for the week. This is your game plan. This tells you what factors are at play. So if you woke up on Monday knowing exactly where the market stands, with Rogue Radar, you're going to have clear technical signals identified, the latest fundamental data analyzed, sentiment shifts that are detected early, precise trading plans, and confidence in the market direction. Or you can keep guessing, get overwhelmed by conflicting news, uncertain about key levels, missing important data points, reactive instead of proactive, and trading based on hope, not strategy. So it's not your fault when the market trades against you. It means that you don't have the right equipment. So you can arm yourself with information about the technical analysis, about the fundamental analysis, and about the sentiment analysis. But those are the core forces. We have a product down below. You can subscribe below. It's $89 a month, Rogue Radar. If that's not for you, totally fine. Find out your data flows and your system and your process for technical analysis, for fundamental analysis, for sentiment analysis. These are the core factors that you're going to need to be successful in trading oil and gas. So I hope this helps. Drop us a like, drop us a comment, let us know how we're doing. I hope you enjoyed this session today, and let us know. Let us know what you're thinking. We'll talk soon. I hope you have a fantastic, fantastic day.